Hey guys, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. Tonight, myself and my lady Neve went to see Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the fact I went in with very low expectations helped, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as a lot of critics are making it out to be. It is most definitely a messy movie, and there's some issues that are visible on the screen in lieu of certain characters and plot beats. But I don't think it's anywhere near as catastrophic as people are making it out to be. I had a lot of fun with it. Neve had a lot of fun with it. She was chuckling and she was like cheering on certain characters, and it was a fun movie. I think a lot of people who may not enjoy this movie were hardcore fans of the Ryan Johnson movie. And full disclosure, I was not a fan of that movie. But that said, I'm not going to give this one a free pass. I am going to bring up faults and issues I had with it. But first off, I'm going to focus on what worked with the movie. First off, I think it's a fantastic love letter to Star Wars. There's nice little nods and beats and references, and there is a lot of fan servicey aspects. I'll admit that, but I don't think they crippled the movie or sabotaged the movie in any way. I think it is something to kind of remind fans, hey, this is fun. This is Star Wars. This is what you love. This is what you like. And Johnson's movie, while ambitious, and it wasn't a bad movie, I just don't think it worked well as a Star Wars movie. Pissed off a lot of fans. And if I had to cite criticism about this, is that J.J. Abrams, in an effort to kind of do damage control with the kind of prior movie that Ryan Johnson had set up, he does retcon and kind of shove a lot of stuff that was set up to the side, and it does make for a very, very messy picture. Um, if you haven't seen any of the adverts or any of the promotional material, this is a bit of a plot spoiler, and if you haven't heard already, switch off now and come back and watch this review. The main big bad of the movie is Emperor Palpatine. Yeah, he brings back Ian McDermott to play Palpatine, and there's very little pomp and circumstance with this character's introduction. He's introduced in possibly in the first 10-15 minutes, and again you can see that this plot beat was brought in at the 11th hour because essentially Johnson killed Snoke. So we need a big bad, and Palpatine explains to Kylo Ren that Snoke was his puppet and he was pulling all the strings. But you can tell that this was a very juxtaposed kind of plot line. It works just about. You can make it work. It's a bit lazy, it's a bit shoddy, but it isn't a total disaster. Um, Other aspects I liked. I think Adam Driver was fantastic in this movie. Again, there'll be a criticism on the arse end of this kind of this positive, but I think Adam Driver was cool. He finally came full circle as Kylo Ren, and an aspect I enjoyed and I liked was he has a redemptive kind of aspect in this where he kind of realizes that he's a puppet and a pawn, and that he doesn't really want this. He's doing it to try and get back at Luke for kind of what happened in the past. And we get to see Ben Solo, and the little we saw of Adam Driver's Ben Solo was fantastic. There's little nuances of Harrison Ford's Han Solo in Ben that just works so well. And I think that if he was going to have a redemption if he was going to have a redemption storyline, that should have kicked off at the end of the prior movie and fed all the way through this. I I genuinely liked Adam Driver in this movie, and I liked the fact that he kind of came in to give Ray a bit of help, because this is a very much Ray's story, and her I'm not gonna bombard you with spoilers, but she has a link to Palpatine, which I'm not gonna go into, but it kind of causes her to have a crisis of faith. And Daisy Ridley does a fantastic job portraying that. She doesn't know her place in the universe. She doesn't know if she should be a Jedi, if her power is for good or evil, and she knows that she is going to have to face Palpatine at one stage or another. Other aspects I liked, the practical creature effects were fantastic. Um, there's this little creature in it that rewires C3PO. I think it's Booba Fennec. I think that's his name, or Dio Fennec. No, Dio's the little wheelie robot. I thought he was cool. I enjoyed the robot. I enjoyed the robots. I think they were cute, but Finnick was adorable and had myself in Eve and stitches. I love that little guy. He's like an angry little Russian car mechanic who's just pure fucking hyper at what he does. But he was brilliant. Um, what else? Zori Bliss was cool. She's played by, I forget the actress. She was in Felicity. She's a good friend of J.J. Abrams. She was kind of a cool Boba Fett esque character who has a bit of a history with Poe Dameron, and yeah, she was pretty cool. I enjoyed her kind of banter with Poe, and you get to see that, like, not everyone is on the Empire side, and not everyone is on the rebellion side. They're just normal people trying to get from point A to point B, and they don't want to be involved in any part of it. Um, yeah, I thought her performance was cool. I liked her. I thought she was interesting. She was engaging. Could have done a bit more with her, but I thought she was interesting, and she fleshed out as well. She fleshed out Poe Dameron's character that bit more. That he has a bit of a shady past, and he had this kind of romantic liaison with his character. Other characters or beats I liked. I thought Richard E. Grant was cool as General Pride. He was awesome. He was very menacing, and I do like the fact he essentially he essentially ended up taking over from Hux, and fucked over Hux throughout the story. But yeah, again, there was a lot of things to like. That said, there was a lot of things that I didn't like. Again, as I said before, the plot is messy. It rushes a lot of things, and a lot of characters suffer as a result. John Boyega's Finn, I think he just about gets his foot in the door. They definitely kind of cut back on character development for him. There is an interesting part of the movie where he bumps into another bunch of people who are first order defectors, and he's having a heart to heart with this other chick who was a former first order stormtrooper. But that's never touched on again, and I think a lot of this movie ended up on the cutting room floor, and character suffer as a result. Kelly Marie Tran is her character of Rose Tico is now a background character, which I think is appalling considering what that poor girl went through. I really hope it isn't Disney trying to do damage control, because if so, they've done the exact opposite. The Knights of Ren. The Knights of Ren make Boba Fett look like some badass pimp MacDaddy from the fucking Wire. They make him look like the most shelled out, well developed character on the planet. These guys have been these guys have been pimped up and talked up throughout two other films, these Knights of Ren. And when they finally show up, they're just. The, people bitch about Boba Fett. These guys are worse. These guys, they're supposed to be these fucking badass first order kind of bounty hunters who trained with Kylo Ren. They're fucking nothing but a bunch of lads who go around in black and look intimidating. They're the shysters you see in school who are trying to look tough but can't do fuck all. I genuinely was disappointed because, again, these guys had been talked up to the nines throughout the movie, and when they finally show up, they do fuck all, except get dispatched in a cool way by Kylo Ren. But that's about it. Again, this movie really, really it works. It's fun, but it's really really messy in parts to try and kind of undo what some people consider the damage of the Last Jedi, and it shows. If I had any other nitpicks or gripes, Carrie Fisher, God rest her soul, she shows up in the movie, and for the most part, the effects are good, but there's just something weird with the dialogue. It's I don't know if it's clips taken and reorganized to seem like dialogue, but there's something very artificial about the conversations between her and other characters, and I think I see that's the thing. It's one of those things. Is Uncanny Valley something that is like in your subconscious, or is it that it was just bad kind of sound effects and VFX work? I don't know. I genuinely don't know if it was because I was aware she was dead and I was aware these were reinserted segments, but that took me out of the movie. But I still had fun with this movie, and if you're a Star Wars fan, go to see it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. There was kids there that loved it. These movies are for kids as well. They're not for just fucking 35-year-old guys who live in their fucking basements collecting their fucking World of Warcraft cards. They're for everyone. And if someone can get enjoyment out of this in one form or another, so be it. I enjoyed it. Neve enjoyed it. I had fun. Not a perfect movie, but it's not Shakespeare. These are movies about space cowboys and space wizards. It's a fun movie if your family loves Star Wars and if you're looking to see something over the holidays. Go check it out. My name's Martin. This has been the Trash Picture Show, and yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.